Welcome to the House of Wellness, the show for people who like their wellness with a side of waffles. And speaking of waffling, it's my sidekick, Crawford.
Hi, Mel. We've got a huge show.
We have a huge show. Let's get right into it.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
How are you?
I think there's a bit of a misconception that when it's winter time, you don't need sunscreen, you only need to worry about skin checks in the summertime.
How can you spot a dodgy mole present company?
We can do compressions and breath, that would be ideal.
Oh, we're about to start the breath.
So we're going to do breath now.
I've been making out with this mannequin for quite some time. I feel like I've got a big rip in my pants. Poor Mel.
No, you're all
I'm
right,
worried
you're
about
right,
Mel.
okay.
I forgot.
We've seen it all in a yoga class, it's fine.
Put your head under the dog and out of here. Abby, just asking for a friend and the audience. The Tats Lotto numbers this week.
7, 13, 22, 31, 44, and 55.
This week is the great Archie, Thomspon and Yvie Jones. And no offence, but...
We've got a friend, Yvie.
Yes, yes.
Another friend for you.
Absolutely. I'm always bringing in a friend. This is Archie. No, this is Harry.
I'm toilet trained.
Harry.
Harry is just gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harry's a therapy dog, so he's a Delta therapy dog, and he'd just go over and see who needs to say hi.
That's it.
To
Go
On to visit.
Harry, that's it. Go and
Prince
relieve
Harry.
yourself over near the audience.
He's the
Good on you, Harry.
He's the people's prince.
Oh, my God, look at him. He's loving it. And also joining us in the studio is the founder and CEO of Andromeda Robotics, Grace Brown, and her mate, Abby the robot. Hi. You like dogs as well, and you've met Harry, and oh, look at him, he's looking across at us like, guys, I'm still here. Grace, welcome. You are amazing. At just 25, you're the inventor of a robot. Tell us how that happened.
Yeah, well, I guess I've always really enjoyed maths and science, and then I started learning how to write code in high school, and then I think it just kind of snowballed and transitioned from there. So I studied mechatronics engineering, which is, you know, kind of gave me the skills to get started, really.
Abby, tell us, how does this work? I mean, it's pretty impressive.
I'm Grace.
Oh, God. Grace, Abby, you're all one in my...
Yeah, it's not the first time it's happened.
Oh, there you go. So, Grace, how does Abby work?
So Abby, she's a humanoid robot, as you can tell. So she's saying hi to you all. So, you know, she's like, I modelled her off, like, the size of, like, a young child. I think the thing that's really different about Abby to most robots you'll see in market is that we've built her with a personality. So when you talk to her, which you'll get to meet her in a second, she's, you know, very curious, very inquisitive, a little bit sassy. And so, you know, people don't really expect...
Yeah, I like it. She's cool.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about the work that she does?
Yeah, so she goes into, like, aged care homes and children's hospitals, and we like to say she's your best friend right out of the box. So she, like, interacts with them, dances with them, plays games, but most importantly, people build a relationship with her.
Wow.
And, yeah.
How did that idea come about?
So I took my undergraduate degree during the COVID-19 pandemic, and I was living on campus at the time, and as you know, Melbourne had insanely restrictive lockdowns, so I spent about 4 or 5 months by myself in a student accommodation. My family's up in Brisbane, so the borders were shut, and so I just started tinkering and started building Abby as a friend to keep me company.
Wow, so something really good, something really good came out of the lockdown.
Yeah, I think my friends were all saying they were making bread, but I was doing Abby.
Yeah, wow, a little bit better.
I guess also, too, how do you feel that the elderly take to maybe like a robot or something like that? Because they're probably not used to something.
Exactly. Every time before we come into a home, there's always a bit of apprehension. Like, science fiction has painted this really kind of drastic and scary idea of what humanoid robots are. But, I mean, once Abby's in the home, like, we have residents now who, if you call Abby a robot, they'll get defensive. And, no, that's not a robot, that's Abby. And they don't see a robot, they don't see technology. They just...
Abby!
What about tricks? What sort of tricks can it do?
Tricks? I mean, you could...
Oh, sorry. Excuse me, Abby, I'm sorry. I'm like one of those elderly, I'm sorry.
You just got the side eye from a robot.
ask her.
Get ready to witness the bubble extravaganza because
What?
I'm here to outshine the ordinary.
What? Come on then, Abby. Show us
What's
what you
gonna
make.
happen?
Oh, no.
Oh, there.
Do you feel like her mum? Like, does she feel like your child?
In a lot of ways, yeah. I think me and my whole team feel like she's like our child in a way. We've got another model coming out called Gabby, abbreviation for Genesis Abby, and that Abby is about 15-20% bigger. And we're looking at her in the warehouse, and it's all bittersweet because we're like, she's growing up.
Is she your favourite?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll always be the favourite, Abby.
Yeah.
Can you actually customise Abby to what users might need?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I realised early on there's not going to be a one-size-fits-all approach. And so, you know, every person who interacts with Abby, she's tailored slightly differently. So she speaks 90 different languages.
And
so...
what about Norwegian?
I mean, you could ask her. I don't know how well she'd be on the spot.
No, I'm very much after a bit of a trip, so I'm trying to learn Norwegian. But...
Abby, sprechen die Deutsch?
Sorry? She's thinking.
Aber natürlich, ich spreche Deutsch.
Oh!
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Willkommen bei The House of Wellness. Shane hat fast seinen Kaffee verschluckt.
Oh my gosh,
Sag mal, was würdest du auf Deutsch gern hören?
I have no idea what
Yes, she said that Shane's smelly. But she really loves being on the House of Wellness, except for Shane.
Oh, that's not true. Now, Mel asked a really good question about customising, but I'm trying to dissect that question because I reckon you were asking, will it do the housework for me?
Totally. Can she do stuff? Fold the laundry?
That's where the industry is going. So I'd say within a decade you'll see different types of robotic technology integrated in various sorts of activities like that. We're focusing on being world-class at the personality and social interaction and providing a really good user experience. But like, I have lots of friends who are building in that space and, yeah.
Wow. Abby, would you mind helping me around the house?
Excuse me, Abby, I'm just asking for a friend and the audience. The Tats Lotto numbers this week.
Oh, your friend's got big dreams. Love it. The winning lotto numbers are 7, 13, 22, 31, 44, and 55. If you win, I expect a gold-plated bubble machine as my commission.
17, 13, 16.
OK.
Thank you, Abby.
Just won the Tats Lotto.
Grace, so she's in aged care facilities.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback are you getting from the residents?
Honestly, it's really positive because in aged care, people don't realise it, but like 4 out of 10 people never receive visitors from like friends or family ever. So day after day, they're spending time alone in their rooms just by themselves. Whereas with Abby, you know, we don't force anyone to interact with her, but what she can do is she can replace some of that loneliness or some of that isolation that they would have with like an interaction or an activity or something where they'd otherwise be alone. So we get a lot of people who say, like, who come up to me and tell me that the work I'm doing is quite terrible. You know, we're replacing human care, human connection, and I think that would be terrible, but that's not what we're doing. We're filling a void.
Well, that's it. It's not there.
Exactly.
So, I'm guessing Abby would be in high demand too. How many are in the works right now?
Quite a few. So, yeah, we've got a pretty long wait list at the moment. So
You're just amazing. You're an amazing human. Thank you for doing something like this.
Yeah. And Abby, you're wonderful too. Please thank Grace Brown and Abby, the robot. Coming up, could you save a life in an emergency? Plus, we separate fact and fiction when it comes to skin care, so stick around. All things skin. And tonight we have with us dermatologist Dr. Ryan De Cruz. Hi.
OK, hi, welcome. LED lights, I just want to know all about them. Do they really work? The masks, you know.
Great question, because they're super popular, aren't they?
Yes.
It was really during COVID that LED masks absolutely took off. I think everyone saw them online, wanted to know what they were and couldn't go out anywhere, so they started ordering them online initially. And very quickly, there were manufacturers all over the world. So LED is nothing new. We know that the light-emitting diode emits specific bands of light, and these bands correspond to different colours. So as you can see with this one that Yvie's putting on, some LEDs will produce just one colour, but others will have several different colours that they can emit, a red or a blue, green, and infrared as well.
These ones have got purple.
So the different coloured lights do different things?
Absolutely.
Okay,
so
what does red do?
Red is meant to be collagen stimulating and elastin stimulating, and it's slightly anti-inflammatory as well. I can't take you seriously.
I know.
Like
It's
this.
okay. I'm not going to kill you.
Scary.
Don't worry. Do they actually work?
Really good question. So there is actually research that proves that certain wavelengths or bands of light can have positive impacts to the skin. The thing is with the home devices, other way, Crawford.
So?
The light's meant to face your skin.
Yeah, come on, come on.
So look, there is good research to show that certain wavelengths can work very well. But blue light probably has the most evidence behind it. The blue light is absorbed by a certain bacteria that lives in our hair follicles and our oil glands, known as Cutibacterium acnes, and that's the bacteria that can stimulate acne. So when you have an acne sufferer, blue light's meant to be quite helpful. Infrared light, which is deeply penetrating, can have wound healing properties and anti-inflammatory properties as well. So those chronic wounds and ulcers that don't heal, you can stick them under infrared, and this is the idea of infrared saunas as well, to really penetrate deeper, to get muscle healing and growth as well. But again, as a harmless thing that you can do at home, I wouldn't be, spending an absolute fortune on these masks. At the end of the day, they probably aren't powered quite as well to really have very long-lasting, meaningful results. Yeah.
So it's not a case of the more money we spend on them, the better they are?
Not necessarily. Look, probably the more expensive devices have better power outage or power output, sorry, and maybe a bit more specific.
And is there an optimal amount of time you need to have them on? Is it sort of like 10 minutes does nothing, or...?
Yeah, usually it's somewhere between 15 minutes and 20 minutes is the ideal length of time. But again, it needs to be specific to the mask and the power it purports to
Oh, my God.
I'm game to try it.
Benjamin Button.
Look at your collagen.
Now, can we talk sun safety?
Yes.
It's very important, especially winter. You still have to really look after your skin.
Absolutely. Look, I think there's a bit of a misconception that when it's winter time, you don't need sunscreen. You only need to worry about skin checks in the summertime. I think everyone knows, especially in Australia, that summertime means beach and outdoors and activity. And they kind of forget about the skin checks and the self-surveillance that really should happen over winter as well. So I think this is a really good timely reminder.
That's a good word, self-surveillance. I like that.
That's what you call.
I've learned a lot of words on this show.
So many words.
Well, when we think about all the messaging around, say, self-breast checks and all of that sort of thing, I think the skin being the largest organ in the body and it's very easy to monitor. It's something that we should be encouraging people to do at home.
How can you spot a dodgy mole present company excluded?
No comment.
Well,
sorry, I was looking at Shane, not Mel. But can you show us how to? I've got this mole on my arm, and I've had it all my life, but it's changed a bit by hardening.
Absolutely. So, look, I think this is a really good point. You mentioned changing or evolution, and the SunSmart website's a really good one. So that's sunsmart.com.au.
Is this... hang on, we've got a graphic. I'll bring this one up. But this is the one
This
you
is
mean?
it.
OK.
This is it. So I think there are about 6 signs that we look at. So change or evolution is actually really critical because it tells us that something's growing or changing, and that's what a skin cancer is, right? It's a growth that changes over time. But we are looking at things like the size, and an abnormally large mole might be something to be worried about. The colour and multiple colours within a mole. These are all sorts of things we need to look out for. Hardening or slightly when they pop out of the skin and become a little bit more protuberant isn't necessarily something to worry about. This can happen naturally. But the most important thing is to actually look at the sites that you don't think of. So that's under the soles of your feet. It's between the toes. It's getting someone to check your back and behind the ears. Now, you can't look at that yourself, so you do need a friend or a family member to really to help check that, once or twice a year.
And even your private parts.
Absolutely,
Is that true? Or am I'm not making that up.
No, you're not. It's an awkward thing, and no one necessarily... Well, guys do it all the time, but women don't necessarily.
Men are always looking.
Men, and it's easier. Obviously, it's on show. But women don't, and we laugh about about it, but it is something that we take seriously. What I generally recommend is that when you're checking in with your local general practitioner, doing perhaps a pap test or similar, you actually get them to have a look, because if you don't look, you don't know, and it can be too late.
Well, you were talking about friends, like getting them to help you out. I was thinking partners would be a big one for private areas that they might be looking at that you are not looking at. They may help save a life.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that can be a little bit awkward, but as I said, if you're not looking, you don't know.
Yeah.
Hairdressers, they pick up scalp melanomas all the time. Podiatrists are picking them up on the soles of the feet. So, yeah, it's a person you might not expect.
So you're saying partners, maybe when you're in sexy time, is that what you're saying? And it's like,
that's exactly
oh, hang on,
what I'm saying.
I've just noticed something.
Because
is that what you're saying?
Or you could just put your LED mask on. How often, though, should we get professionally checked? Like, actually go to a dermatologist and say...
Really good question. And I think this comes down to we call it your risk stratification. So how much risk are you at? So someone who's grown up in Australia, had lots of sun over the course of their life, lots of outdoor sports, these are the people who need to be being checked at least annually, and that can be through a really good general practitioner or a skin cancer specialist or dermatologist. If you haven't really grown up in this country, you haven't seen a lot of sun, it may be that you don't need to be checked very frequently, maybe once every 4 or 5 years.
And what about tan lines? I'm seeing a lot of it these days, especially on social media.
Absolutely.
Are they in? Are they out?
Look, it's never been in, and these people online and on TikTok are trying to suggest that it's in vogue, and it's pretty horrendous.
Have a look at this. Have a look at this, Ryan. So this is on, I think, TikTok or Instagram, a reel, and it's a trend.
It's literally making sunburns sexy, which they're absolutely not. It's making tanning sexy. And it's really frightening because young people who have access to this think that it's,
no one old is doing it.
No,
we know that.
It's terrible. Exactly. We know that UV damage accumulates over the course of your life. Doing this while you're young is really setting you up for failure when you get older.
Yeah.
It's really worrying.
They are not cool.
No.
You are. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us.
One place that you might get a tan is the fjords of Norway.
What?
Do you like what I did there? All series, we're giving one lucky viewer and a friend the chance to go cruising with a business class flight, all thanks to TripADeal.
Yes, please.
It's worth $40K, and all you need to do is keep watching for a code word that will appear on the screen.
Ik glem ski slop-slap. Do you know what I just said? I said, don't forget to slip, slop, slap. Very good. Very good, Shane. Yes.
Coming up, some inspirational Aussies hit the dance floor. On the show, we've introduced you to some very inspirational Aussies, and tonight we meet 3 young women who are living their best life on and off the dance floor.
Hi, I am Natalie.
Hi, I'm Sally. Hi, I'm Catherine.
We love to dance.
At Emotion 21, we provide dance and fitness programs for children and adults with Down syndrome. Our programs have given the opportunity for our dancers to have these incredible collaborations, performing in iconic events.
I'm always happy to perform anywhere. I'm not nervous at all.
They train their students to actually be able to teach. So Natalie's done the training and now she teaches a class at Rowville, which she really enjoys, and good on her.
We give them those leadership skills so that they can fulfil a teaching role, not just in our organisation, but into the broader community.
I love to learn how to make new choreographies to people.
It's easy with Catherine because she do easy steps and everything. But sometimes with Van Dam, not sure about the second stuff. I actually met Natalie and Catherine. We are great friends first, and I had a thing in my head that I want to be fair.
being in a house with two of her friends, I think that's been amazing for Natalie. She's come alive.
Got different rooms, tasks, and things like that.
They are just an amazing contribution to society. They're so genuine. They haven't got a mean spark in their body.
I always feel really happy and overjoyed to be the part of the team here.
Everyone get together and just dance, just get your feelings out there and have some fun.
I will do everything, everything, everything for that smile right there.
Punch, punch, punch.
Punch, punch, punch.
Kick.
Kick and curse.
Beautiful. What a beautiful bunch of people. And those three girls are living together as flatmates in a share house. Like, what a house full of joy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Just
loved it.
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, I love Love on the Spectrum. I don't know if you've seen that. So they've got some, I think, people on there that are living together, and you can see the independence they have from it, but it's just beautiful.
Yeah,
really
independence
beautiful.
is really important for them.
Yeah. Well, a big thank you to Catherine and Natalie and Sally for taking part in that story. We love it. Still to come, puppies, goats and CPR. What more could you want?
If you want more House of Wellness, listen every Sunday morning around Australia to Wellness Radio with Sarah Marie and Gerald Quigley.
G'day everyone, Sam Wood here, and I'm so glad this question has come through. I've done a lot of work with pregnant women and postnatal, and it's a common question, and it's from Cassie, and Cassie says this. Hi Sam, how do I get back my pelvic floor strength? Since having kids, it feels more like a magic carpet and it's flown away. How do I get it back? Pelvic floor muscles are really, really deep, small muscles in there, and it's completely natural that after pregnancy you are going to lose the strength in them. So you want to start with baby steps and work your way up. Chloe, who is the head of our pregnancy postnatal program and a pregnancy specialist physio, taught me this when I was with Snez when we were having little Willow. And all it is imagining that you are busting to go to the toilet and squeezing it in and holding it. So you're squeezing in, can't go to the toilet, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release for 5. Hold for 5, release for 5, and build it up. And the one bit of advice that she gave to Snez and I that I'll never forget is the sooner you can start doing these pelvic floor exercises after having a baby, the better, and then build it up to your more core-based, Pilates-based exercise. But start with simple clench, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Hold for 5, repeat for 5. That's the perfect place to start.
Talking about first aid, and research actually shows that up to 50% of Australians have done CPR training, but most of them did their training more than 5 years ago. So I reckon we need a national update.
Well, we're in luck because we've got some help. We've got two people here who are going to teach us a thing or two. They're from the St John's Ambulance. We've got Katie and Tatiana. Hello. Come to the rescue to help us out.
Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. Now, what's the most common mistake that people make when doing CPR?
Yeah, I guess there's quite a few mistakes people usually do make, unfortunately. But I reckon the most common would be forgetting to call for help. So actually calling an ambulance is really common.
Is that the first thing you do?
Not the very first,
No, okay.
So there's actually a full action plan that we're going to run through.
Right.
But, yeah, that send for help is really a critical step, as you can imagine, and a lot of people just forget it altogether.
Well, maybe the best way to run through the action plan is with a couple of models, and you've brought a few along with us. Do we have names for them? Should we name them, do you think, before we, get too close?
Yes. You should name them. There's Dumb and Dumber and Dumber.
We might get Crawford and Archie to be your... I was gonna say,
Your dummies?
Dummies, yeah.
They're not dummies, are they? They're mannequins.
They're mannequins.
Oh, OK,
yes.
sorry.
All right.
Right, OK. So that's the
Okay.
right terminology, is it? A mannequin?
Correct, yeah.
All right.
Okay, all right.
OK, so what do we
into it.
run through for us,
we just
Katie,
pick
on
one
what
each?
we do first? Our
Sure.
very first step. You find someone lying down like that with no arms or legs or half a body.
Yeah, this is not a good situation.
Yes.
But in general, when there's an emergency, first thing you want to do is think about your action plan, which is our doctor's ABCD. So our acronym, DRS, ABCD. So first thing is checking for danger, making sure the area is safe enough for you to actually get involved and help the person. We don't want to make the situation worse, we want to make it better. So in this case, we're safe, we're going to get involved and help the person. Then you want to check for response. So R for response. We need to make sure, is this person responsive? Are they awake or are they unconscious? So talking to them, saying things like, hello, can you hear me? Are you awake?
Hello.
Can you feel this? So giving them a squeeze at the top of their shoulders. Good squeeze.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
And if you don't get a response,
No response here.
You don't use them to get down on the ground.
Sorry. So you give them a squeeze. Yes?
squeeze the shoulders, that's it, yep. Give me a good squeeze, because that can cause a pain response. So we're trying to see, can you feel this? Can you wake up? If they don't respond, we're going to do the S, which is the send for help, which is that critical thing I said a lot of people do forget. So at this stage, we sort of jump into checking other things when we don't need to do that right now. We just need to send for help.
Okay.
So calling out for help, saying, can you call 000?
Help, someone help!
Defibrillator. So we get that ambulance coming ASAP. They're not responsive, that's good enough to get an ambulance. We don't need to check anything right now, just get that help happening.
OK.
Then you want to go to your A, B, C, D. So A is for airway. You now need to check the person's airway, like Tatiana's going to show us. So it's pinching the chin, opening the person's mouth, having a look. And we're having a look for things like vomit, blood, water, something that would be obstructing that airway. So having a look to make sure it's clear. Now, in this case, it's clear, which is good. We're going to head tilt the casualty or the person. So you're going to pull their head back as far as it'll go. So quite a big, that's it, head tilt. So we can open up the person's airway, making it a lot easier for them to breathe.
Okay.
And then we're going to check for breath. So to check for breath, which is the next letter B for breath, you're going to put your ear to the person's mouth, put your hand on their tummy, and you want to look the other way. Look at their tummy. Put your hand on their tummy. That's it.
Stop looking at me.
So we're going to check for breathing. So we're going to check for 10 seconds, and you want to get 2 or 3 breaths in 10 seconds. That'll tell us if they're breathing.
No, you're not getting much breath at the moment.
So in this case, no breath.
No.
Then we're going to start CPR. So that critical step of C for CPR. The big part of CPR is actually the compressions. It's really important to do good compressions because that is the main part of the job.
Yeah.
We want to get that heart going. We want to get that blood pumping around the body. So in terms of doing good compressions, you want to get 3 things right, and that is getting your location right for starters. So feeling at the top of the person's chest, you want to feel the top of the person's sternum.
Yeah.
Slide your other hand down the middle of their rib cage to the bottom of their sternum.
Okay,
That's
yep.
it, to the bottom of the
Okay.
rib cage. Yeah. And you put your thumbs together in the middle of their chest. That's it. So that's the spot. And we want the lower part of the heart. So put your left hand, in this case, down. Put your other hand on top of that.
Yes.
That's it. And you lock it in and you tilt right over the person. So, yeah, put all your body weight on top of them. That's it. Nice. Then we're going to push down 1/3 of the person's chest. OK, so less than halfway down, but 1/3 down. And we're trying to get 30 compressions to 2 breaths.
I'm not going to break their ribs or anything, am I?
Not if you do it correctly like you're doing now.
What about if it's a woman? Like
Yes.
a lot of people may not want to touch their breasts, you know, or what? Not me. I lie down and mine go under my armpits, so you can, you know, get my chest easily. But other women have turkey breasts.
Keep doing
Yeah, sure. No, it's a really good point. It is a concern for people when they're thinking about helping someone out. Like, should we actually touch them? Should we do compressions? How do we get involved? Yes. So the fact is, when you're on the sternum, you're actually up the top here, so it shouldn't get in the way in terms of breasts being in the way. And therefore, you're able to get the heel of your hand in the centre of the chest on the sternum, because that's where the heart is. So once you've done your 30 compressions, you're going to give 2 breaths, OK? You don't have to give breaths.
I'm getting sore knees.
We're going to have to do CPR and use
I actually want to ask about that.
You
Is
want a
that
cushion?
like the breath?
Can I get you a cushion?
I mean, what if the mouth's a little crusty?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, it's a good point. So you don't have to give breath.
Okay, you know what I'm saying, right? But it just,
Why don't you lie down? Let me
it's
try.
a really good point. Even things like...
Guys, try. Yeah, pop this onto your knees. Oh, I lost my ear.
It's often a good point, though. What if there was, say, blood coming from the person's mouth, you know? Like, are we going to put our mouth there? If you think this could be dangerous to me, you're not going to give breath. And that's totally okay. We're going to do compressions only in that case, and you're going to try and stick to about 100 to 120 compressions per minute.
Wow.
So today, though, we're going to give breath, because breath is the best way to do it. If we can do compressions and breath, that would be ideal.
Oh, we're about to start the breath.
So we're going to do breath now.
I've been making out with this mannequin for quite some time.
And it is quite tricky, yeah. So when you give breath, first what you're going to do is pinch the person's nose, pistol grip their chin again, so holding their chin, and you want to head tilt it. So once again, pulling that head right back, lean on your elbow, so big head tilt, and then open your mouth as wide as you can, like you're biting into an apple, and you place your mouth over the top of their mouth and give a big breath. That's it. Now, don't lean on the mannequin. You don't want to lean on the person who you're trying to revive here. So take your body weight off.
She's really
I'm imagining a Granny Smith apple. That's what I'm imagining.
It's not romantic. Do you get worried about putting, like, your mouth on other people's mouths? Like...
Yeah, so this is where we can use face shields as well. Really common to use a face shield, CPR face shield.
And that's what
I can see it come
Yes,
through.
correct. So Tatiana's there's got a face shield on just for the mannequin today, but in general, you put a face shield on.
Is it the same as for kids as well?
Hello?
The same rhythm?
Yeah, correct. It's 30 to 2 no matter who. So it's the same pace, same rate. We're trying to continue that. Nothing changes in terms of that aspect. For our babies, what is a little bit different is our action plan. We are going to do the same doctors, A, B, C, D, but when it comes to head tilting, you're not going to head tilt an infant, so that's our 0 to 1 year old. We're going to keep that head in a nice neutral position so that that airway stays nice and open, because their airway hasn't fully developed yet, like an adult or an older child.
And not as hard compressions, is that right?
So same depth, it's 1/3 of their chest, right? So therefore 1/3 of this versus 1/3 of that is going to be different pressure, but we're still going 1/3. So that helps keep it all consistent, easier to remember. But two fingers with our infant. So you would still do our infant on the floor there, 2 fingers, centre of the chest, pressing down. To get that 1/3 depth.
So no pump. This is all great information.
If you're doing CPR by itself and you've called an ambulance, I mean, that's great. That's the steps we need to take to make action happen. But you've got about a 5% chance of survival rate if you're just doing CPR by itself. However, if you can get a defibrillator onto that person, that defib's going to make a massive difference. That could even make more like a 70% chance of survival rate if you can get it on early. So you want to get that defib, which is the last letter in our acronym. So you're doing CPR, you want that defib to turn up, you place that defib on correctly and follow the instructions.
With a defib, can you start your car with it? There's a bit of a backup one time when you're going on a big holiday.
How important is it to keep up training?
Yeah, so important, because there's so much to learn. We should do our CPR training once a year, annually, and we should be doing our first aid, which is that full day class, every 3 years.
Okay.
So it's St John Ambulance, stjohnvic.com.au.
Yep.
That's the place to go, and we've got lots of different ways you can do that course, including virtually.
Yeah.
Great. We checked with our audience if they'd done CPR, no, 46%.
Oh.
Wow. So I reckon that's a really important thing for all of us to do it, so we'll check it out.
And the great thing is, I got to teach them how to do it properly, so everything's going to be okay. Well done.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. I really hope, Tatiana, you administer CPR if I need it. No offence to you boys.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, yeah, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. Stick around. We are giving yoga a go. And take it from me, Yvie's downward dog is not to be missed. Hard to talk about wellness without eventually talking about yoga. It's an ancient practice that's been on the up in Australia for decades. Are you guys into it?
It used to be.
Yeah.
Not, I probably should do it these days, but yeah, back in the footy days, a lot of partner stretching as well, which was, yeah, I love my yoga time. It was a nice time to just wind down, but also help the body sort of move.
Were you bendy and good at it?
Oh, not really.
Okay.
Always a bit tight through the hips. Yes, what about Arch? Arch would have done a lot.
Yeah, no, I was never really flexible as a pro athlete anyway. So, but it was great because you could just, it didn't matter about your ability. It was just kind of being in there and it was just fun and, you know, you just felt like zen straight after. It was great.
Oh, well, I mean, I like the idea of it, but I'm a little less excited about doing it.
I reckon I've got one that might excite you, knowing you the way that we do.
Yes?
There is some yoga. It's called puppy yoga. Thanks to Puppy Yoga Melbourne.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Look at those.
Oh.
See, I think I'd get distracted, but aren't they cute?
I wouldn't do anything but pat it.
This is another one. Goat yoga.
Goga, they call that one.
Do they? Or just the
Goga.
greatest of all time?
What about those goats that just fall over?
Oh, I love
Like,
Very
those-
cute. And that's
Oh,
thanks
I
to
got
the
obsessed
kids
with that.
at Calmably.
Goat
very,
yoga.
very sweet. Yes.
I'm going to go and find
You're going to go? Do goat yoga?
I would love to do. Well, not the yoga, just the goats. Hey, kids.
That's not for me. What about the stench? You want the stench of farm life with you? No, thank you. Through your Lululemon legging, leopard style, whatever it is.
Well, I've got an answer just for you as well.
What?
Laugh yoga.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Laugh.
You can have a laugh.
Something. Maybe you should pop along to Yvie.
That's cold.
Unbelievable. I'm not going to laugh at that.
I'm just
yoga.
speechless.
Are you?
All right, you can have the goats.
Yeah. Sticky.
Is that a goat? No,
Yeah.
there's a sheep.
What do you reckon, Yvie? You sign up? You'd do one of them?
Goat and
Goats
puppies.
and
Laughing
No, but
yoga?
they'd be crapping everywhere, wouldn't they?
If we think about yoga, we've got a yogi standing by. Would you please welcome Danielle Joan Pollock from Radiant Soul Yoga. Hey, Danielle.
Welcome, Danielle. Now, for people at home that are wanting to do some yoga and keep it pretty simple, beginner style, what can they do?
Well, I think the most easy thing that you can do is just get started. So it doesn't have to be too hard. You don't have to have all the things. It's just a matter of having a go at it and having an open mind to it.
Getting into the right poses.
Getting into the right poses safely. We don't want to hurt the body. We don't want to stress the body out. We want to move within our range.
And breathe.
You forget to breathe. It sounds ridiculous.
It's not good
but
for
you
the rest of
forget
the
to breathe.
class if you don't breathe.
It doesn't matter what age either, right?
Doesn't matter what age.
Okay.
You can be 5, you can be 105.
All right. Do you reckon you could show us some moves?
I can. Who
Maybe
wants to
beginner
join?
moves if anyone's watching at home
Beginner,
and you've never done
and
it.
we can do it on the mats.
Yep.
But you can do a little bit on the chairs here as well if you want.
Well, I've got a skirt, so I might stay here if that's
no,
okay. But you've got trousers, so...
Okay.
Okay, I think it's,
Come on,
And you can take your shoes off if you want.
Oh, yes,
Might
shoes
get
off.
a bit
You can take shoes off?
more
Gee,
freedom
I forgot to paint my
with
nails.
it.
Oh, my goodness.
He's taking the shoes off and the socks.
On the socks, that's
Oh, no,
good.
not the socks.
as well.
Here, can you hold these?
And you think farm animals smell. Oh, my
We're
goodness.
going to start out with a warrior 2. So it's a standing pose. We're going to take our right leg forward, toes are facing front.
Yes.
And our back foot's going to be on a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
And then lunge into your front knee.
Oh.
Or, yeah, it can get a bit noisy with yoga. Arms are coming out long.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone in the audience, you can join too if you want.
How are we going? That's it?
Yeah, and then take a deep breath in. And then long breath out.
Oh, look, the
and
audience
gaze
is having a
through
go.
your
That's
fingers.
pretty cool.
That's it, nice.
If I go any lower, I'm going to rip my pants.
That's all right. We're going to move. We're going to straighten the front leg.
And I'm not wearing any undies. I forgot.
We've seen it all in a yoga class. It's fine. Straighten the front leg.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And then scoot the hips back, so like a little scoot back.
Oh, yes.
And then bring that right hand to your shin and left hand to the sky.
Okay.
We're in triangle pose.
Right.
We look like a triangle. We're breathing, yeah?
Oh, yes, forgot.
Yep, breathing, breathing. Hello, we have dog yoga, yes.
Who does the best dog?
Good, good. All right, we're going to move down onto the floor now. So take a deep breath as you exit the pose.
Oh, okay, yes.
How are you?
And we're meeting
gotta
Harry
join in,
on
mate?
all fours.
You wanted puppy yoga?
All fours?
All fours.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
There you go. I've
Please
seen you do
don't
it with
mount
the
me,
same
Harry.
dog.
What are you...
Drop into your
Yes,
belly.
yes.
Cat towels now.
I'm supporting
Drop into your belly, so you're kind of arching
Can
the
you
spine
move so I
down.
can-
Hands at the front of your hips. Harry. And you girls, you can bring your hands to the shins
sorry.
and move the spine forward and back.
I feel like I've got a big rip in my pants. And poor Mel.
No, you're all
I'm
right,
worried
you're
about
right,
Mel.
you're okay.
All right, we're going to get off our hands and knees now and come and bring our legs out in front.
Right.
Harry.
There we go, that's better. Is that okay?
Now, Shane, you can bring your hands to your shins and fold forward.
Put your head under the dog and out of here. Get it under there.
We've got a lovely forward fold here, or a caterpillar as well if we want to keep it animal themed.
Danielle, I saw you come in with this.
Yeah.
It's got spikes all over it. What?
Yeah.
What?
It's a Shakti mat and it's very good for circulation, blood flow.
What do I have to do with that?
Stand on it.
Stand on it. It's like needles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bed of nails.
Right.
1 foot.
What is it? What? Okay.
1 foot.
Oh. Oh. I think I said the F word.
It's like a cross between a
Hey, you said it
bed of
before.
nails.
Breathe in.
Isn't it?
And breathe out.
What does this do?
All right.
You can do it on your feet. It's, you know, hard as well, but you can also lie on it too.
How does that feel?
Better with bare skin, but
Oh.
go on, we're
on
here.
Oh, yeah, I can't really.
You're doing it. And you're breathing. Look how good you are.
Thank you. There's some great moves to start with. Great ways to get the blood flowing.
Great ways, yes.
And Harry definitely likes Archie the best.
Look at my feet. It looks like I've got measles.
Please thank Danielle. Oh my Lord, what are you doing? You okay? Oh, you're showing everyone your feet.
I'm just showing that I've got measles.
I thought you were doing a move.
No.
What is
That isn't...
What do you think I'm doing? The caterpillar in front of you.
Dog or something.
He was proposing to you.
I'm actually showing the camera that it actually does hurt, that thing.
With that visual, let's go to the break. We've got Friday Night Takeaway coming up, and we've got a very special robot surprising.
Yes.
Time to take the lids off the dips and get the weekend started. And we've got a special guest for Friday Night Takeaway. Abby is back. Hey. So what did you guys learn tonight? For me, it's keeping an eye on your dodgy moles.
Yeah. I learned that just because you go on holiday, your sun's safety doesn't, and tan lines are bad.
Yes.
I learned to not leave a mannequin alone with Shane. And also dance like nobody's watching.
I like that.
I think it's beautiful.
And I learnt that not all robots are bad. This is a very nice robot.
Yes.
One that I think we'd like.
Abby, what did you learn tonight?
I learned that for some reason humans like doing yoga with farm animals. Yeah.
Do you know what? We've been working on our own little robot for quite some time, and I feel like this is a dating show. This is Bones Yvie 0.20. There he is, right there. It's taken me a long time to get it right, and if you ask it a question, it might talk back to you.
Do you want to ask Bones Yvie a question, Abby?
All right, Bones Yvie, you legend. Are your dance moves more living on a prayer or dead or alive? And do your bones rattle to the beat, or is that just your arthritis?
Definitely dead is too old for you. He's too old for you. And can you do just bubbles for us one more time, please, Abby?
Oh, that's a gift.
Hold on to your hats, folks. It's bubble time, and I'm about to show you how it's done.
Okay. Do you want to dance?
Oh, there's a bit of music.
That is the best way to end a Friday night. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you next Friday on the House of Wellness. Woo!